Hello, here we are again with our latest update on the dairy market. As you can clearly see on this graph, we are at the lowest point in milk production, seasonally speaking, in Europe. And hence, of course, we see prices increasing. That's been quite a surprise, I think, for many of us, but it really looks like after the summer holidays, everybody came home and saw an empty book and started to buy. So that's basically really what we saw. However, even though we climbed very fast to whey prices around about 800 today and skim about 2,500, 2,550, we see the market really stabilizing because, of course, we are still in a crisis situation. We have even another war going on, so that has a strong impact. What has happened even more, we see world trade decreasing. For instance, Maersk, the biggest shipper in the world, announced a job cut of 10,000 people. Remember, a few years ago, they had profits never seen before. On the other side, we see now also farm gate prices going up. Friesland, but also Ewer, a big cheesemaker in the Netherlands, is increasing its prices. On the other side, we see the El Nino, so this has a strong impact already in countries like Indonesia, where it can impact palm oil production, for instance, but also in Mato Grosso state. In Brazil, we see delaying soy plantings, replanting even, so it has already quite an impact. If we look on the production side, the production is rather stable, I would say, all over the world. Not exceptionally up, not exceptionally down either. So that's what we see today. If you look to the graph and you see the different areas, the EU, America, and New Zealand, it follows pretty much the production lines as we saw them the year before. What on the demand side? That's the other part of it. The consumption remains very weak. We see wars, we see economies going into recession or almost in recession. We see even Tesla complaining about the interest rates. We hear on the news that Nestlé is closing even an infant food factory in Ireland, which was producing mainly for the Chinese market. But in China, in 2016, they had 18 million of babies born. The projection for this year is 9, so it has a strong impact on, of course, on the demand side. Back to our market, whey and skim. We reached quite a low point, especially for whey. It was incredibly low, I must say. It is linked to more cheese production and low demand for whey, which has been corrected over the last weeks, actually, where we are back to more or less normal levels. And the same we see on the skim side. The butter and the cheese. The butter is going up very, very fast, I would say. About 24% in the last 10 weeks. So that's a strong driver also for our milk price. But I think I suspect that this will also not last because it's now much driven for the end of the year, Christmas period and so on, but it's not so certain that that will stay. On the other side, cheese prices are also picking up, so that definitely will support our milk prices. Overall, if you look to the last 10 years, then we see that we are very close to average pricing at the moment. So that's, in a way, these are quite normal prices, even in a historical perspective. If you look to GDT, for instance, GDT also, no big changes. A bit up, a bit down over the last months. This week it was a bit down, but after all, quite stable as well. What further impact we see on the market? As I already mentioned, economical slowdown, better milk prices. China so far not in the market. EU milk production will increase. US as well, that for sure will have an impact. If you then look to bullish and bearish factors, the bullish factor is definitely, it could be the El Nino, it could be the impact on China coming into the market, but for instance it could be also the blue tongue disease. On the other side, the bearish factors are very clear. Demand is and remains very weak. We see also the futures showing a bit of an increase, although I really wonder if that will last. If we then look to the Rabobank's report, showing that we are really in very low production growth, but that will also pick up. So that brings us actually to what can we expect from all of this. There will come a milk flush in Europe and in the US for sure, so we will have more milk coming up. Buyers are short, so it creates quite some uncertainty in the market, but we saw prices going up, and they will go up the coming time, but it is already stabilizing. And then if you look further towards Q2, let's say, we probably will go back. So that gives you a bit of a picture where we are, and I like to close. We just saw on the news Nestlé launching a new infant food product on the market. If you look to our newest launch, Protego, it is using quite a lot of these ideas, and quite a lot of the technology inside is pretty similar. So this, I think, also tells us we are there on the right way. Thank you very much.